What's up, team? Let's review 2 training concepts to build elite level single leg balance and stability. So it's very simple to break this down. Let's start our athletes out and our clients out with some of these low threshold options. And what I mean by that is they're easier, right? Let's start here. Most people will jump into some of the high threshold options and load them really heavy. And to be honest with you, not have any right to do so because they haven't mastered some of the easier stuff to balance and stabilize and be coordinated on one leg and to really build what we call proprioception, or this awareness in space, right? And so let's start up with some of these lower threshold options. And now these are some examples. You can certainly use these as a guide, but you be the coach, you be the author, you can build off of them with your creativity. I'm a big fan of this single leg balance or this one leg hold position. Okay, you can have this non-working leg flex behind like that into extension or into flexion, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, start out body weight, nice and easy. And then from here, you can layer in other elements where your hands and arms are moving dynamically to challenge or increase the overall challenge for that leg to stabilize and balance on one foot. So something you could simply add in is something as easy as just these side-to-side passes or transfers. Another thing you could do is around the world. So I'm gonna transfer this weight, and you can see it's not easy. Around the world, I can switch positions, so clockwise, and then I'm gonna go counterclockwise, so on and so forth. If I have a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, I can take it and just balance it, right? Or I can bring it past the side to side from hand to hand. I can also do chops with the weight, a medicine ball, dumbbell, kettlebell, a plate. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do these slow and controlled chops, and you can see it's not that easy to balance here. And when we're doing that, you're gently and slowly making it more challenging, still in low threshold, but moving closer to high threshold because you're forcing the intrinsic muscles and little guys on your feet and ankle to help stabilize that foot. Ankle's working, the knees working, the glutes and the hips are working, right? Those are some simple scenarios for low threshold options. Now, if you want to advance and when you're ready to make it harder or progress to high threshold options, this is when we want to emphasize not only balance and stability on one leg, but also strength. We want to make sure that we're loading this up, starting out light, making the weight moderate, and then advancing to heavy weights. That's the goal because we're emphasizing the strength component now. Okay, we've built up some of the balance and stability and proprioception, the coordination. Take those elements with us, those qualities of fitness and performance, add those to the high threshold, but now layer in and emphasize heavier lifting and strength. So something I like to do is really break this up, this high threshold scenario, into 2 options. You're gonna do what's called the hip dominant variations, so the hips doing most of the work, and also knee dominant variations, where the knee's doing most of the work, okay? Starting out with the hip dominant, you could do a one leg RDL. So you're going to go contralateral hold, left hand holds it, right leg is stabilizing on one leg. I'm here and I come back up, and then from the side, again I'm here, I'm here, and then I come back up. As you can see, single leg balance and stability is not easy. To make that harder, or one way to make it harder in many ways, but this is one way, you can do an ipsilateral hold or same side hold. So it's here, I'm avoiding that hip from rotating out. I'm gonna take that toe in, I'm gonna aim that hip down when I go. So we're here, and then come back up. Again, this is a hip dominant variation. Okay, those are a couple of ways you could do some hip dominant ways to load the glutes and the hamstrings in this high threshold scenario. Knee dominant variation, so we're gonna load the quads, the knees and the hips to a lesser extent. In this position, we can do skater squats. Now, there are bench, one leg, box squats, bench squats. There are so many other variations as well. This is just one variation that I happen to like a lot. You can do dumbbells, you can put a weight vest on, you can go chain around the neck, goblet position with one heavy dumbbell, both hands holding it here. Again, endless options, but here's a way to start. So I'm here, I'm gonna tap this knee down toward that pad as I use the weights as a counterweight. Again, you can see it's not an easy exercise here, so take your time, move through it in a controlled fashion. I'll show you from the front. So from here, I'm emphasizing that knee over the toes to load that quad and knee joint, and then come back up. Just some simple ways to begin to master and build elite single leg balance and stability. Start with low threshold, and advance to high threshold options.